put it on real tight. Hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. You're around the shoots, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast, a production of TSC Entertainment. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas. Hey everyone, welcome to Texas on Tap, where we're going to do a little discussion about some music, what's topping on the charts, what's popping, what Kyle's got picked out for us today as well. Hey Kyle, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, me too. I had a little allergy thing and then got that bug bite, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's unusual for me to be down, very unusual. Thank God. But anyway, so I'm back in rare form. Just finished up yoga and I feel good.
Oddly enough, this worked out nice. This is going to allow us to shift to as planned. Texas on Taps are going to start coming out on Fridays now. So
that's awesome.
Alrighty. So I wanted to mention a new song. It is charting, obviously, on the streaming charts. I'm not sure what it's doing on radio just yet, but it's brand new. It just came out, I think, on Friday. And it's Randy Rogers featuring La Maquinaria Norteña. I think that's how you say that?
Yes.
So I checked it out. It's a really fun song. I guess Randy's kind of been pretty experimental, ever since he established himself. He's done a really good job of doing diverse things, and this is just another example of something that he's experimented with, and it came out really cool. It's a fun, it's got like a dark side, but then it's really like silly and lighthearted too at the same time. So I think that song's gonna hang around for a while.
Yes, me too.
You want to start off, or you want me to throw some songs at you?
You go ahead.
Okay.
Batter
Cool.
up. You can be the pitcher. You can be the leadoff pitcher.
Alrighty, sounds good to me. So I picked some new ones this week. I'm gonna start with, let's do I Didn't Think About the Rain, Jarrod Morris.
I really like that.
Me too. It was a really cool song. I always love hearing harmonica in a song like this, obviously it's a classic instrument. It's not used enough in my opinion, but it was real nice hearing that, heavily involved in the song. Another thing about this song that kind of stood out to me was the whole time, like I know some of Jarrod's other songs and I know what he's capable of vocally. So I was listening to this whole song and he was staying real calm the whole time. And I was just like, man, you got to go high, sing it, yell, get angry. And then finally at the very end, he did it and got real high. And it was just, it made it worth the wait. So like it was building anticipation the whole song, and then finally there was that release vocally, and it was real satisfying for me. And then next I wanted to talk about Don't Even Say Bye by Koe Barnhill. He's a new one to me. I'm not super familiar with him. Had you heard of Cole before?
No, and I've seen his name, but all three of yours were home runs. I mean, great finds.
Yeah, so the one we'll get to next, I'm sure everybody's familiar with already, but and we'll get into that. But anyway, so Cole, the thing that stood out to me about this song was the simplicity of the production. It's kind of like it's just like a general rock outfit, the way the instruments are used. So for me, it kind of allowed me to focus on the vocals and the lyrics a lot, which is kind of unusual because for me, I have to really love a song before I even really pay attention to what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, the way this song was recorded, the vocals stood out to me from the get. So I thought that was really nice. Another unusual thing about this song was the album art really stood out to me. It's like this cool little cartoony clown thing. And that kind of caught my attention real fast. I thought it was real cool and unique. And then the last one is Drunk Driving, Koe Wetzel.
Koe frickin' Wetzel. Hello.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't even need to say anything about it. So the weird thing about this song for me is that it's one of the songs on this record that didn't stand out to me a whole lot whenever it first came out. So I'm trying to wrap my head around why it's come back around. It's a great song. It's just, I don't know why. It was because I loved the record. Whenever Sellout came out, I listened to it for months, and this just wasn't one of the main songs that I would go back to regularly. But I guess maybe that's why it's catching on. People listen to the album and then, I guess we're looking for something new from Koe, and then it was already there waiting for them once they were ready for something different. So that's really the only thing I can think of. But it is real catchy. It's a really like somber song, and yeah, I understand why people like it. Mm-hmm. So what do you got for us this week?
Well, I ran across some new stuff, and one of the ones that another South Texas boy, Gabe Garcia. He's
Yeah.
from Lytle, Texas. He has a great story. I'm hoping we can get him on the podcast. I mean, like, it's just, I'm going to hold off on that for a while
Okay.
because I love his backstory, and he has been working with music. He's worked with some of the best in Nashville, and he's back home in Texas doing his thing. And it's called I'm the One That Ain't Coming Back. It had the highest debut at 88 on the chart. So
Oh, man.
yes, he's coming along. It's a good listen. And then something a little different. They've been around for a long time too, with a big history, the band of Heathens,
Oh,
South
yeah.
by Somewhere. What did you think of that one?
Yeah, I thought it was solid. The guitar effect at the beginning, it's got that like underwater thing, and then the vocals kind of have the same thing going on. So they do that's kind of the thing about this band for me. They do a great job of setting the tone for a whole song.
Yes.
It's very like it's like imagery almost. Just the way that the music starts every song, I know what I kind of know what's coming just from the way it sounds.
Yes, and of course, they've been around, big heritage,
Oh,
long
yeah, of
story
course.
with them. And then something that was new to me, this one kind of caught me lyrically. I like the twist on it. Sam Cox Band, and it's called Make a Living. It's just been released, and it's got a little Oklahoma rock to a little Texas dance hall sound, but everybody take a listen to it. I think we can all relate as we become grown-ups and get into adulthood. Make a Living. So that was a good one.
Yeah, that one was interesting to me. Like it comes in real heavy. Like it's gonna be like a hard rock song, and then it's got that steel in there too. That's real clean and pretty. So it definitely caught my attention. And then, like you said, it's very relatable. Child kind of took me back to my childhood real quick, and then it had that nice little vocal
Yes.
twist in the chorus. Yep.
Yeah, so I was really liking that one. And then something else, I just want to bring up a couple of things. Reckless Kelly has just released a new single. It's called Lost Inside the Groove. That's something to watch for. And then another song that, as I was this morning doing some stuff, Law by the Gun Breakout. That's a good one. But we had discussed Morgan Ashley on the Texas on Tap last week, and she just released, it came out, I got the notification this week, or like after we had our podcast last week. But Morgan has released Back to Austin, and it's a great song. It's been released to the Texas charts, and she was the 2021 New Female Vocalist at the Texas Regional Radio Music Awards. So
Nice.
Way to go, Morgan. We'll be following Back to Austin. Great song. Good job on that
congrats.
one. Yes.
Very cool.
And then we did talk about the Drew Fish Band last week, and last week to this week, they had the highest debut. So that one's coming up the charts. Now, to talk about some of our family, Ken Fo, they're moving up, and John Stork is doing good. He's pushing into the top 10. Matt Castillo, our very own TSC entertainment artist. Matt's leaving Brownsville tonight, is making lots of strides. He's been out doing lots of shows. And of course, he just released the new album that he discussed on our podcast. So it's really exciting stuff going on.
Very exciting. It's cool that we've been able to kind of touch so many different corners of all of this so quickly. And it's like thinking about everything we've got coming up as well. It's just kind of mind-boggling how much ground we've already covered, and all the cool people that we've been able to meet and all the connections that we're making. It's kind of fascinating.
Yes, very fascinating. Great talent, great stories, great interviews. And of course, I think my favorite of all time so far was our podcast with Ken Fo that was released this past week. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please check it out.
You gotta go listen. So much fun.
They are so fun, and they have been super busy because they are playing all their shows and they're doing their radio tour. So. Yeah,
those guys they're like a well-oiled machine, from industrial, industrial Michigan.
Industrial dirt music. But they are just them. That what you see is what you get, and that's why I like them.
And it just so happens to work really well.
Yes, absolutely. They're so talented. So looking at just kind of running through the charts as far as TexasCountryMusicChart.com and CD Extraction Texas, the top 5 didn't change. On TexasCountryMusicChart.com, Casey Donahue, Queen for a Night, is still at number 1. Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen at 2. Curtis Grimes' Friends, love that song, it's at number 3. And Bart Crow's Pocket Full of Kisses is in 4th. And then rounding out the top 5 on that chart, this was the same as last week, is Josh Ward, A Cowboy Can. Now on CD Extraction Texas, You got Casey. Oh, let me move up a little bit. Pardon me, people. Sorry. Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen, Home of Beer. Then Casey Donahue, Bart Crow is at number 3. Curtis Grimes at 4. And Saints 11, My Home is at number 5. And looking down here, Ariel Hutchins is still hanging in there.
Right on.
But I'm just really proud of how far Ken Foe, Matt Castillo, and John Stork have come. They're doing really good. So I look for them to be popping way up there pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. Jen actually does a lot of their radio stuff, and she's really supportive of our show, and she interacts all the time on Instagram. So I wanted to say thanks to her, and thanks to everything she's doing for a lot of these artists that we've worked with. She's killing it. Whatever she's doing,
Yes.
she's making it work for these guys on the radio, and it's
Yes.
awesome for them and for us. So.
And then on the Texas Regional Radio Report, did have a few changes. Drum roll, please. Bart Crow is at number 1 with Pocket Full of Kisses. He was at number 2 last week. And then Wine Won't Work, Ariel Hutchins. She was at number 3 last week. She's at number 2. Mark Powell, I Hope I'm Holding You, is at number 3. Randy Rogers, Wade Bowen at 4. And then Casey Donahue's rounding out the top 5 with Queen for a Night. So it's looking good. And then again, Kylie Fry with Horses in Heaven, she's killing it. It had she's picking up spins, the most spin increase. So moving down, but it's good stuff out there. And yeah.
So I want to shout out a cocktail. Well, it's not a cocktail, but we got a shot submission this week.
Good. Tell me.
It's a weird one. So it came from a record collector on Instagram. It's called The Daily Spin, _daily_spin07 on Instagram. And he submitted the applesauce shot.
What?
Yeah. So we've got Fireball, pineapple juice, and green apple liquor.
Whoa.
Yeah, sounds like a whole lot of flavor. I guess it's, we've been promoting these silly things, like what were we talking about, the chocolate covered pickles and stuff. So people are getting the idea that we want this crazy stuff. And
yeah.
I guess maybe this is one I would try. I don't know if I'd like it. I'm not a huge fan of applesauce or Fireball or green apple.
But maybe all together, because maybe all together it'll have a different little twist. So cool.
Yeah, I might have to try it.
And it's a shot, so
True,
it's not like you're stuck with the whole thing. Yeah. So pretty cool. That's awesome.
I went to I was in College Station last night for my brother's graduation from A&M, and we went to this restaurant, and I tried a new, it was a gin martini, but it's called like the Aviator or something, and it ended up just tasting like straight licorice. And I hate to be that person, working in restaurants where I send food back, and it's like, oh, but man, it was sitting in front of me, so I wanted to keep drinking it, but it was just so nasty, and I had to just like put it on the edge of the table, and eventually she just kind of came by and took it, and I was like, oh yeah, she didn't say anything to me.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was trying to be adventurous, and didn't pan out for me.
Well, congrats to your brother. That's an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. He took a different path from me, so maybe he'll support me one day.
Gosh, you're doing just fine, Kyle.
Yeah. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a wonderful weekend. I
saw some pictures.
I actually had my 3-year-old granddaughter, and she is a mess. She is the cutest thing, curly hair.
She's adorable.
And so we took her out on the boat. We went and did some fishing, and all she could, she's definitely has some of my blood in her, because it was like the boat is nothing for her. And it was like, go faster, Pop, go faster. And it was like, and then let's hit because it got a little roughed up coming in. We didn't go too far. And then she did a little swimming. We did a little baking and cooking, and she performed, and it was interesting. A good weekend. Lots of friends stopping by in and out. This is a time of the year where I never know who's going to show up at the door. The other day I'm sitting here and it's like a knock at the door, and one of our good friends was down to fish, and he just like wanted to come by and say good morning. I was like, hey, I'm looking at the tides and currents. You probably ought to go get those fish while they're biting. Anyway, but yeah, good times, great friends, family. Yeah.
So do you have some visitors coming this weekend?
Well, yeah, I've got a lot of visitors coming this weekend, and we'll let you know how the fishing excursion. I don't know if the weather's going to hold out for Chilcowie.
I saw that.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what's up, because I see the winds are going to be just ripping, and we're supposed to have rain and storms. And then I have some other friends actually my buddy Sherry, that's my dear friend. We fish Mermaid Offshore Tournament together, and her husband are coming there'll be no offshore for us this weekend
Right.
either, because it's going to be rough. It's like
Nasty, yeah.
4 to 5s. Yeah. So anyway, but
Yeah.
we can talk about it. We can have
Yeah.
some cocktails and we're going to talk about
Yeah,
it,
for sure. Sit out there by the pool and watch it come in.
or watch the Astros. The Astros are doing
True
good.
that. They are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's looking good for sure.
The bats finally came alive, like consistently last night. Finally, the bats came alive. And so, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's always nice to see that. I feel like every year since this era started, it's my whole life, it's been hard for me to start watching before like August,
I know you're one of those. I forgive you.
Since the Altuve years started, it's like, it's easier to start in June and then maybe May if I'm lucky, depending on when everybody wakes up. Yeah.
I just can't help it. I just have to have. I watch the Astros, but I'll watch any baseball, and I watch MLB. I'm just that it is what it is with me. I'm weird, but.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little impatient because I always watch. I mean, I try to keep up with all sports, So normally I'm watching the Rockets, and this year I'm not. So it's like I'm a little bummed out on how they did this year, and then I guess maybe that'll let me start watching Astros a little bit earlier. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll encourage you. I'll keep you updated.
All right, sounds good.
I'll text you and say I think this might be a good game for you to watch.
Cool. Well, that'll work. I wanted to talk about next week's episode before we go. We're going to talk to John Teague from the Teague Brothers.
Oh, he was a pleasure.
It was such a good conversation. He's extremely well spoken and had so many good things to say, and tells us a lot about, new music they've already recorded, planning to release, new stuff they're planning to go record, and his whole story. And him and Helen actually had a lot in common. So that was that's pretty exciting. So look out for that next Tuesday. And other than that, I think we hit a lot of music and talked about some sports like usual. And
sorry.
No, I like it. And I'm sure everybody listening likes it too. But yeah, no, I guess that's it for this week. We even had a shot.
Yes, we did. One of the things it's like, if you're just out cruising and driving around, or you got your commute in the morning or the afternoon, or you're just sitting around, it's like, if you haven't checked out some of the other podcasts that we put out, just kind of, do your homework and go back. And we've just had so many intriguing artists that I want everybody to be able to absorb all of the information and the stories that we've gathered so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I guess a lot of people are probably used to binge watching shows and stuff like that. And this does not work like that at all. If you weren't aware, like, you can go back and listen to the first episode and you can listen to all of them in any order. There's no correlation from episode to episode. It's just genuine conversations. And I think that there's a little bit something new to learn from every single one.
Absolutely.
I highly suggest doing that. And if you like what you're listening to, like always, please give us a 5-star review. It takes like a matter of half a second to push the 5 stars. And if you have the time to write a review, that would be awesome of you as well. But no worries if not, just hit that 5-star. Follow us on Spotify, all that good stuff. At Texas Toast Pod on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And our website is texastoastpodcast.com.
All right, we're doing this. It's wonderful.
Yeah, alrighty. Cool. Well, on to next week. I will see you at John Teague on Tuesday.
Okay, sounds good, Kyle. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Dare to say, well, you can go to hell. Hell, I'll go to Texas. I've had my fill of every place but home. Well, take away the